everyone. My name is Antoine Irwis, and welcome to another Biomarine 360 interview. Here, I will be interviewing unique talents who are developing innovative products and strategies in favor of a sustainable blue economy. Whether it's aquaculture, industry, investment, policymaking, or research, my goal is to share with you my guests' vision, their impact in their industry, and how you can inspire yourselves from it. Today, I will be interviewing Dr. Shimrit Perkal-Finkel, co-founder of Econcrete. With their revolutionary approach to eco-engineering urban, coastal, and marine infrastructures, Econcrete has developed robust and environmentally sensitive concrete solutions to tackle the ever-growing climate challenges we face today, such as rising sea levels and superstorms. The core innovation of their products is a mix of science-based concrete admixtures, complex surface textures, and 3D design, all working in synergy to increase the ecological value while improving the structural performance of coastal infrastructures. Now, I have been following Shimrit's activity for over a year now and was really eager to learn more about her company. If you were as well, I'll leave the company description below and let you enjoy the interview. Okay, good morning, Shimrit. Thank you for being here with me today. Let's dive directly into this amazing interview. So if you could present yourself in just a few sentences.
Absolutely. Good morning. My name is Shimrit Perkal-Finkel, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Econcrete, calling in from Tel Aviv, Israel, which is where the company is headquartered. Econcrete is providing nature-inclusive concrete solutions for coastal and marine infrastructure in a way that helps us generate more sustainable, more environmentally sensitive coastal defense schemes and marine applications for concrete structures in a way that both enhances marine life and increases the strength and the performance of the infrastructure. So that's really in short.
Impressive. Now, the cement market is actually quite tricky because it is very saturated. So what is your business model to gain some market share against the regular cement businesses?
Yeah, so Econcrete doesn't replace cement at all. We only replace about 10% of the cementitious materials within the concrete mix, which is quite a small portion. So what Econcrete provides is a bioenhancing additive, a powder that is almost like salt and pepper for the concrete. And you add it either on top of the cement or as a replacement for 10% of the cement. And that is enough to neutralize the negative impacts of concrete basically on marine life and to allow for a much richer biodiversity to develop. And to do that without compromising the strength or operational capacity of the concrete. What we do try to provide as we want to get the most nature-inclusive solution that's more sustainable is to use slag cement. So basically not use the standard Portland cement, which is very much carbon intensive. Instead, we prefer, as long as the concrete engineers of these big projects allow for it, to do up to 70% replacements of slag cement, which is very rich in byproducts and is still very strong and very high performance in the marine environment.
Wow. So yeah, as we can see, there's a lot of opportunities with Econcrete actually in the oceans, which is actually amazing. And speaking of one of those new solutions, the offshore wind industry is actually expanding quite impressively in Europe. And how likely are you going to be implementing your concrete in this industry?
Yeah, first of all, let me mention that we would prefer not to use concrete in the marine environment at all. If we can have pristine habitats, that's the best. But as people have to keep developing solutions for cleaner energy from the ocean, like offshore wind or any other infrastructure for defending our coastlines and our vulnerable coastal communities from sea level rise, we have to use concrete, and then we want to use Econcrete as the most sustainable material out there. Specifically with respect to offshore wind, which is increasing not only in Europe, but also in the US and North America and other regions, there's actually a lot of benefits in kind of getting green or blue energy, but there's also a big footprint on the seabed. So there's a lot of scar protection that has to protect the turbines. There's actually some gravity-based turbines that are made of concrete at the base, and that's where we want to come in. We've already had some very positive progress in that. We are part of the Dutch government catalog for nature inclusive design that was recently issued. So we have a couple of products already verified and validated under this catalog. And we're also working with some of the big offshore wind developers on how can we actually design nature inclusive scar protection. For example, in the North Sea, we're working with Van Oord, one of the big Dutch companies, on an oyster enhancement procedure as a part of the scar protection. And Econcrete has already shown very positive results with that.
Wow, it's good. And as you said, I agree 100% with the fact that if we could not use concrete, that would be the best solution. But if we need to, of course, more sustainable actions need to be taken in hand. And just to bounce back on the oysters, so because your material actually promotes new habitats, biohabitats for a lot of species, do you think there's any synergies with Econcrete and the wind farm industry and actually hosting new biodiversity?
Absolutely. So that's why we designed the technology for, and actually you can see behind me one of our armor blocks that is full of oysters, all those bumps of the concrete, and that's concrete. You don't even see concrete, you just see a lot of marine life. So we've had multiple experiments, both in-house and through external entities, including some very massive, very, amazing NGOs like the Billion Oyster Project, that have experimented with our material and found it very much inducive for coral enhancement. So in fact, it works very much like a natural substrate and definitely better than other materials, including even a quarry rock that is typically used for scar protection. We can see that we can get sometimes over 60% settlement rates with oyster spat on Econcrete, whereas on regular concrete and some other less attractive substrates, we get sometimes less than 10. So we do see enhancement capacity, and the beauty is that we can actually tailor the solution for the target species. So if it's oyster, we know that what types of roughness and textures they need, and we actually know what is the best concrete admix that we can add to induce oysters. But we've also studied how to enhance corals, or how can we find niches for the design that are more suitable for different fish species. That's why we call it nature inclusive.
Yeah, I was just going to bounce on the coral as well, because I know a lot of companies are actually working on finding ways to really rebuild the coral populations in certain areas across the globe. So I think Econcrete could be an amazing solution for that.
Yes, and we've had some work done in the Red Sea and some work done in Florida regions on coral reef environments. I do want to distinguish, Econcrete does not provide artificial reefs for conservation reasons per se. Our preference and our kind of vision is to have active infrastructure. So let's say you have a port facility, a marina, aquaculture facilities, or offshore wind facilities in a coral reef environment that can use for enhancement. Then we harness the infrastructure for coral enhancement, as opposed to adding artificial reefs, which sometimes have their own impact. They do create a footprint on the seabed, and instead of mitigating elsewhere with an artificial reef, we provide a solution that is self-mitigating on site, which is much healthier.
That's amazing. And to bounce again once on the test countries that you were talking about, so you said you were working in the Red Sea. Have you already implemented your solution in other countries?
Absolutely. We have 30 different projects at the moment in different parts of the world, in 8 countries, from different states in the US to different countries in Europe, like Holland, like Monaco, France, Germany, UK, and we even have a couple of installations in Hong Kong. They're looking for a lot of land reclamation activities, unfortunately, and we're helping them make it more environmentally sensitive. And yes, Israel, of course, which is our home base.
Of course. Okay, as a one final question for you, a bit more personal. I don't think there are too many women entrepreneurs in your sector and in your industry. How did you manage to launch your project, and what were your motivations to get into this sector?
Well, my motivation as a marine biologist, as a diver, is to change the industry that creates negative impacts on the beautiful coral reefs and mangrove beds and oyster reefs that I love to explore and dive and learn. So that was my mission. And with my co-founder, Ido Sela, who's another PhD in the field, we decided together to kind of step out of academia and provide a practical industrial grade solution that can actually be scaled in order to make a true change in the industry. Now, I know it's quite a muscular industry, maybe concrete and construction. I never saw this as a barrier. I actually never even thought about it, that I should have any more difficulties as a female CEO. And today, having gone through several programs for empowering women, I'm very happy to take a leadership role and to inspire other ladies, girls, to go out there and pursue their passion and their mission, regardless of the field. Whatever you feel passionate about doing, you should do that regardless of any gender issues.
Very powerful message. I agree 100%. Okay, well, thank you very much, Shamrit, for your time. I wish all the best for Econcrete in the future, and look forward to learning a bit more about all of your projects.
Thank you so much for giving me this platform and for the great work you're doing. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. Thank you.
Super, thank you.